Good evening and welcome to the buzzing Vega Social here at the Rose Hong Kong with Paolo Pong.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening, Paolo. Vega Social is our gastro market with tapas influences. So where we have some charcuterie here ready for us with a beautiful wine that we will start to talk about now. Today we will talk about the Vega Sicilia property of the Alvarez family.
Alvarez family since 1982.
Correct. A huge property. I love that property. It's a massive property in terms of hectares. We're talking almost 1,000 hectares in total,
yes.
but only 190 or 200 for wine.
For wine,
yeah.
and then only about 40 for Unico.
Correct.
So, they have a variety of wines, and today we're starting with the Valbuena 5.
Yes.
Which means the wine has been aged in barrels for a few years and then released on the 5th year. And it's a fabulous wine with mainly Tempranillo, 95% on most years, and the rest in Cabernet Franc. And average age of vines, we're talking 35. So it's not super old. They have some very old vines, but in general, I mean, this for me is one of the value wines from this estate.
It is indeed. I love. That's maybe the wine that expresses Tempranillo the best in what they do.
Yeah.
It's a lovely expression of Tempranillo, Tinto Fino. I mean, so many names for Tempranillo, depending on the countries, the region of the country. But here would be Tinto Fino or Tempranillo.
Yeah.
Portugal would be other names. But a lovely vintage as well. 2014 here. Nice ripeness, but also nice freshness in 14. And I believe 14 is starting to drink well as well.
Yeah, the idea for Valbuena 5 is really to be able to drink after 5 years.
Yes.
So the fact that they held the wine for 5 years means it's approachable upon release. And 14 is a very good year, but it's not one of those years when it's super tight. So, if we match it with some charcuterie, it should be drinking perfectly now.
I think we'll try now.
Okay.
All right. And we'll be back after you have a small tour there at the winery.
Vega Sicilia was founded in 1864, so we have 156 years old. We try to produce the best wine as possible in every vintage. You have today 2 wines of the 3 that we produce in this winery, Valbuena and Unico. The Valbuena is produced more or less every year and is not the second wine from Vega Sicilia. It's many years. Valbuena is a great wine. It's produced with the vineyards or the grapes that we consider in every year has not enough quality to produce the Unico. But the varieties, the main varieties in Valbuena is Merlot between 5 and 15%, and the rest is Tinto Fino, the great variety in this region. The Unico is the more famous wine from our home and is produced with Cabernet Sauvignon and Tinto Fino, but the Tinto Fino represents between 85 and 95%, depending of the vintage. Unico is not produced every year, every decade. There are 1, 2, or 3 years that we cannot produce the Unico, depending on the quality of the grapes. And the years that we can produce, the production changes so much, because some years we can produce 3,000 bottles, and other years maximum 10,000 cases. Sorry. So, well, I hope when you taste these wines, you enjoy so much, and I hope to see you and everybody in Hong Kong next time that we can go to visit you. Thank you very much.
Welcome back to Vega Social. Well, we were enjoying a bit of different cold cuts here, a bit of Iberico, Lomo, different things. It's working.
Working
There's
very
no doubt. The Valbuena 14 shows very, very well. It's amazing wineries that make the effort and that can afford to keep wines for so long before release. It's such a chance for us consumers to be able to sell and enjoy wines when they are actually ready.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Yeah, but talk about aging. I mean, Unico is a different level.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
09 is the current release. We're talking 11 years of aging. I mean, that's a long time. And I mean, the wine deserves it because when you taste them young from barrels, I mean, it's just a very different animal. But if you taste it now, you can really enjoy it and you can feel, you know, this amazing 09 vintage which has great intensity, concentration, and this ripeness. But then it has, you know, this well-balanced acidity to go with it.
Yeah. At first, it was you could feel the ripeness or smell it at least, and what is interesting is that you get as it opens up, you get on gainier aromas, you know, slightly, not at all evolving towards oxidation or whatever, but it's kind of a fresh gainier aromas, and a nice I would say herbaceous kind of nose as well, with a bit of mint and.
No, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful wine. So in the meantime, the chef brought us a very nice prawn paella. So
do the lemon.
Well, if you may. What is lovely when you go to tapas bars in Spain, a lot of people drink red wine with seafood paella, you know, because thank you very much. The way they cook the paella and the sauce is quite pungent, so we need wines that have certain richness as well, whether it's white and red. And I like to play around and try different things here.
No, because in the paella they always have some spices and the flavors are very intense. So I'm not afraid to serve red wine, even some robust red wines with a seafood paella.
Yeah.
Let's try.
To be honest, with a wine like this, you cannot go wrong. It's rich, but the freshness, the mineral backbone that there is, it's working perfectly well. There is no, it's very fresh. It makes you salivate, really. Even though it's a rich wine, it's a lovely bottle.
It's slightly savory also.
Yeah.
So you know it goes well with all these food that's in front of us.
Very nice. Well, I'm happy it worked. So we just poured ourselves a little treat to finish, which is a property in Hungary that the Alvarez family purchased back in '93. And this is a Tokai, so from Oremus winery, 2008, 5 Plutoners.
There's a lot of history to this region, to this winery. I mean, Oremus was first mentioned in 1630 in the history books, and I believe the cellar goes back to the 13th century. So there's a lot of history behind it. Yeah, in fact, your king, Louis XIV, said Tokai, the king of wine, the wine of kings. So there's a lot of history to it.
That's true.
To Tokai.
I didn't think we'd talk about French history here, but nice twist to it, and it's actually true. So very rich history in a very old winemaking region of the world. Obviously, it's now the property of the Alvarez family, like I mentioned. So we prepared a very Spanish-influenced dessert to make the link, right? I think enough sugar between Oremus and the churros.
We'll be jumping after this.
But I think it can work very well. Yeah. Actually very nice. It's very nice. The churros are perfect, crispy on the outside and moist inside.
Surprisingly, the 5 Plutoners have good acidity.
Yeah.
So it's not too, too rich that it doesn't go with dessert.
That's
So-
true. That's true because it's like I always say, when you put sugar on sugar, it can become really heavy. But the acidity of the Tokai here is creating a great balance. Well, 3 wines today. It was a treat, really. Thank you so much for sharing this with us, Paolo, again.
Pleasure.
And we welcome you here at Buffet Social very soon. See you next time.
See you.